Unit 12, Cadences from the Fundamentals of Piano Theory, Level 2. And this is kind of a fun unit because you take what you've learned from the past couple of sections and units and you apply it to a whole new concept. So a cadence, which you may have heard in other contexts, is we're going to take these primary chords that we have learned about, the 1s, the 4, the 5, and in a cadence you take those chords and they're used at the end of a phrase or a section in music to kind of conclude that phrase or that section. Or to help keep pushing it forward. There's 3 types of cadence that use primary triads, or that we'll just talk about in this section, and that is the 5-to-1 cadence, which is called the authentic cadence. There's the 4-to-1, which is called the plagal cadence, which you may hear as the amen cadence. It's what they only really use in hymns. And then the 1-to-5 cadence, which is called the half cadence. So all you have to do is build these triads in various keys. I don't know why I did this. I must have did this for a student in the past. I don't know why. And you place it at the end of a phrase, and it basically concludes that phrase for yourself. If you have like a question phrase and an answer phrase, you definitely want to use the half cadence at a question phrase because notice how it ends on a 5 chord. So it helps keep pushing that music forward, whereas the authentic or the plagal cadence ends on a 1 chord, so it's a lot more conclusive. So let's look at this as an example. In C major, they start on the 5 chord. Remember, C, D, E, F, G, so that is a G, that's the 5th scale degree, going to C, the 1st scale degree. And then C, D, E, F, which is the 4th scale degree, going to C, the 1st scale degree. And now we're going to start on C, the 1st scale degree, and go to G, the 5th scale degree. And these all have different sounds, and I'll play them for you right now. You're going to kind of see my arm because my piano is up here. So this is what the authentic cadence sounds like. It starts on your 5 chord and goes to your 1 chord. It may seem a lot more colorful or used with inversions in music as well. Here's your plagal cadence. And your half cadence. Okay, so let's build some of these cadences. So we're going from our 5 for our authentic to our 1. So G, A, B, C, D, D, F sharp, A. Don't forget you have to stay in the key signature of G major. This is where it starts to get kind of like that tricky feel to music theory. You have to see what your key signature is. Going to G, B, D. So this one's going to sound like this. Kind of the same sound as this, but just in a different key signature. Now we're going to our 4 chord, which is going to be G, A, B, C. So C, E, G, going to G, B, D. And now our half cadence, G, B, D, going to D, F sharp, A. And I already did D major, like I said, I don't know why. So going from a 1 chord to your 5 chord here. So 5-to-1, 4-to-1, and 1-to-5. Okay, in the key of F, going from a 5 chord to a 1 chord. So F, G, A, B, C, C, E, G, going to a F, A, C. And now our 4 chord, which is going to be B flat, D, F, going to our 1 chord. Remember, our 1 chords are the same, so they should be the same notes there. Now our 1 chord for our half cadence going to our 5 chord, which is the C, E, and the G. Okay, B flat major. Side note, Ashley, we are in bass clef. Okay, nope, we're starting on a 5 chord. B flat, C, D, E, F. So F, A, C, going to B flat, D, F. Notice how when you have this authentic cadence and you're going from the 5 to the 1, that top note should be the same. And if it's not the same, something's wrong. Because this is the 5th scale degree, and in your 1 chord you have 1, 3, 5, your 5th scale degree. So they should be the same. Okay, your 4 chord, B flat, C, D, E flat. I'm like trying to write nice for you guys. I said that and I messed it up. Completely wrong note. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Okie dokie. So there we have it. We have our authentic cadences, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different keys, and play them on the piano like I did, and make sure that they just kind of sound like similar. If they don't sound similar, something's wrong. And if these pitches don't match, there's something wrong with that too. And these pitches should match as well. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Because it's the 1 matching with the 5, so that's kind of like a self-check. And notice how I'm writing the Roman numerals underneath the chords, every chord except for here because I forgot. Yeah, good job, Ashley. That way, it's kind of like an easy way to identify. You just kind of look at it and you're like, yep, it's a 5 chord. So that's the first section of Unit 12. The second section, it says common note cadences. So this is where we can take cadences and we can invert them. And notice kind of like they're talking about the same thing that I was talking about here. Notes that are the same going across. So it says cadences are often written with the subdominant and the dominant triads inverted, creating common note with the tonic triad. So the common note, they take that 5 chord and the authentic cadence, like what we used here, and they put it now in first inversion. The 1 chord is still in root position, so this is still the same, but now this is going to be in first inversion. That G that we marked here as being a common tone is still going to be the common tone. Now here, we notice how we didn't mark any common tones here, but when we put this 4 chord in second inversion, these C's will end up being the common tone. And then here, these G's that we marked before, they will be the common tone too, because this 5 chord is still going to be in first inversion. Okay, so all we got to do now is we got to take what we did here, and we got to put these 5 chords in first inversion, and we got to put this 4 chord in second inversion. All the 1 chords are staying in root position. So, C major, they're just having you rewrite this one out. So that if you get confused, just kind of look up, and I always write my key at the bottom, just kind of as a little reminder there. And so now we're taking the 5 chord in first inversion, B, D, G, going to C, E, and G. And they're saying to mark it, just like how we did on that last page. They don't line up. Something is wrong. Okay, And if you want to just do all of these first, if that makes that easier for you, so you can really kind of break this down and see that authentic cadence, go for it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. Okay, now we're going to take this 4 chord and we're going to put it in second inversion. I'm like trying to make this as neat as possible, but every time I like really strive for neatness, I just really mess it up. So now the bass pitch is going to be the common note. And then we have a 1 chord, our common note. And notice that these are just kind of flipped here. Later on, we'll look at the movements between the other pitches within these cadences, but not right now. Okay, so now we're actually going to have to think and not just copy and paste. So we're going to take this 5 chord from the key of G. So the key of G, we had a D, an F sharp, and an A. Okay, so now we need to put it in first inversion. So that's going to be an F sharp, an A, and then a D. And it's now going to G position. So G, not G position, 1 chord. G, B, and D. If we did it right, the top pitch will be the same. Oh my goodness, we did it right. You know what? Let's do what I did, what I'm talking about here. Let's go down. F. So let's go look at our F chord. We have C, E, and G. I need to put that in first inversion. So that's going to, I'm going to put it down an octave too. E, G, and C. And now I'm going to a 1 chord in the key of F, which is F, A, and C. And our top pitches should be the same. Yay! Okay, the key of D. In the key of D, our 5 chord is A, C sharp, and E. So we had A, C sharp, E, and I'm bumping my A up there. Oh, I don't like this. I should have put it down an octave. And we're going to D major here. D, F sharp, A. Our top pitches are the same, but I should have put it down an octave. Okay, so all of our authentic cadences are done, and you can see that they all have those common tones. And it's really not meant to be kind of like a check your answer dealio spielio, but you can see that it does kind of help us check our answers. There are reasons why we want to have this common tone, but I'm not going to overwhelm you because this is kind of a lot. Okay, plagal cadences, we need to put this chord in a second inversion. So we have C, E, and G. So C and E need to be flipped, and I'm starting with a G. So G, C, and E. And then I'm going to a 1 chord. What did I just do? I just pretended like we were in bass clef here. Oh, because we're in bass clef here. Holy shnikes. I can't with myself. I can't. There we go. And now we're going to, wait a second here. Wait a second. Oh yeah, we're right. We're right. I'm right. I'm right. We're right. I'm right. We got this. I was still thinking of an authentic cadence. Okay. F major. Plagal cadence. 4 chord. That is a B flat, a D, and an F. A B flat, a D, and an F. So I'm going to put that down here. F, B flat, a D. And I'm going to F, A, C. And our F is the common tone or common note. And it matches. And then D major, our 4 chord in D major is G, B, D. D is on the bottom, D, and then a G, and then a B, and then a D, F sharp A. And the D is the common note. Yay. Okay, the last 1 is the half cadence. Okay, so going back to G position. I keep saying G position. G, the key of G. I was just doing a piano video, so I'm a little... Aha, here we go. So G, and now we need to go to first inversion G, which is just the same thing as this guy here. Remember, the authentic cadence and the half cadence are kind of flipped. It may not always be a 1 chord right here, but it will always end on a 5 chord. For this example, it's a 1 chord going to a 5 chord. So a half cadence is just any chord going to a 5 chord. Just keep that in mind, but right now they're just flipped, if that kind of makes it easier for you. And we have our common note of D. Da, 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 da. F major, F, A, C, and we're going to our first inversion. 5 chord, which if we look back here is going to be C, E, G, which when we invert it is E, G, C. And we have our common note of C. This is a very time-consuming unit because you kind of have to think of these different concepts. I'm sorry, I just moved the stand. D, F sharp, A for a 1 chord, and you have to kind of think through your different key signatures and your scale degrees, and if that's a new concept for you, then this might take a while. And that's okay. You don't have to do this whole thing in one sitting. It's just, this is a lot. Is this the last page of this? Yes, it is. Okay. So, yeah. I hope this helps. I hope this made sense. We're going to talk more about it later. Just kind of accept it for what it is right now, and then maybe you'll see cadences and the exercises in the back of the book later. And I think it even asks you to identify the cadences in here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken. I thought it did. Huh. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Well, anyway, yeah, so you'll definitely be able to identify cadences in music, which really just kind of helps blossom your musical skills. So definitely keep this and at the back of your hand. I'm going to stop talking now. Okay, bye.